Hello everyone, this is Arthi and I'm Arvind. This is our channel, Pair of Ace. We love to travel and I love to take videos. And that is the big backstory of how we ended up starting this channel. Here is our trip to Bath. So, the story of the city Bath is the story of water. To be precise, it is the story of hot water. This beautiful Georgian town in the UK is the home of 3 natural hot springs, a well-preserved ancient Roman bathhouse, a 7th century Gothic Abbey, and some really interesting 18th century architectural wonders. All of these are built around and for the hot springs. The economy and the growth of the city was always centered around the water since the 7th century. It took us an hour and a half on train to get to Bath from London. Arthi surprised me with a cool place to stay called the Gainsborough Spa, which has a pool with the natural thermal spring water. We really put that option to good use, soaking in the mineral-rich water. Before starting our sightseeing, we had a pressing issue that we needed to address. After the extended hot springs bath, we were both famished and we found just the spot. Sally Lunn's finest bath bun. Try saying that a few times in a row. This place is a historical landmark. It is a fine combination of a museum and an eatery. Let's dig up some history before we dig into these buns. Sally Lunn fled France in the 1680s due to religious persecution. She found refuge in the town of Bath, where she worked in a bakery selling buns. Soon, she started missing France and tried to find some solace in food. So, she started making some homemade brioche-like bread she used to eat in her hometown. This bread became an instant hit among the people of the town. Since then, these buns are part of Bath's history. These buns were mentioned by Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, and even King George III. On top of that, this restaurant is the oldest building in Bath. It's been here since the 1400s. They still have the kitchen setup of how this would have looked during Sally Lunn's time. Pretty cool if you ask me. Now for these buns. Sitting and eating in a building from the 1400s may sound sketchy, but this place is well maintained and the buns are, as mentioned, pretty good. It was our lucky day we got these heart-shaped buns which were delicious. So if you are in Bath, we would definitely recommend checking out Sally Lunn's Bath buns. The layout of the town is pretty simple. All the tourist spots are pretty close to each other, so we can walk to most of these spots. You can see everything in this city was built around the Roman baths. When we went to the Roman bath, we realized that this is one of the best preserved ancient Roman baths in the world. I would say you can make a trip to Bath just to see this Roman bath and museum. Just be warned, you cannot bathe in these waters. One of the interesting facts that we learned here is that it was not the Romans who first discovered these hot springs.
Long before the Romans invaded these lands, there was a prince named Walden. Unfortunately, Prince Walden contracted leprosy and was banished from the kingdom. Walden ended up becoming a swineherd, and as fate would have it, few of his pigs also had the same disease as him. When Balded saw that some of his pigs were cured of leprosy after playing in the hot springs, he also wanted to try it. To his surprise, he was healed. Balded returned to his kingdom and became a king. And in gratitude to the sacred springs that saved him, he founded the city of Bath.
Of course, the Romans came much later with their marble columns and mastery of stones. They named this place Aquae Sulis and built a grand temple to Sulis Minerva, a fusion of goddess of wisdom and the local deity of water. Here, people sought healing, made offerings, even inscribed curses on lead tablets, hoping the goddess would bring justice. Being here and looking at this makes me wonder. This place, these very stones, have seen emperors, priests, merchants, pilgrims, all drawn to the magic of Bath's eternal springs. After the Roman bath, we went on a tour to the famous Bath Abbey. This tall Gothic church is as popular as the Roman baths. This abbey was started as a monastery in 973 AD, but over the years it was converted to a Norman cathedral and then to an abbey in the 16th century. There is a museum downstairs, and this is an active church. You can hear people singing and praying throughout the day. We got the ticket to climb the tower, and it was a very fun experience. Climbing on the very tight small spiral staircase, we got to play with the church bells, and when we made it to the top of the abbey, we got a fantastic view to the entire city. We climbed the abbey at dusk, and it was a spectacular view, so if you are in Bath, we would suggest doing the same. We started our next day bright and early and found an amazing place for breakfast called a Good Day Cafe. The decor was cute and the food was delicious. Arthi surprised me with a special birthday treat. Overall, 10 out of 10. After that, we did a full-on exploration of Bath. We walked on the famous Pulteney Bridge, then we joined the award-winning free Bath walking tour. Our tour guide was fantastic and very knowledgeable. He explained a lot of stories of Bath and showed all the important buildings in town. Cross Bath, one of the 3 thermal baths in Bath. This was closed when we went there, so we could not go in and explore. The Royal Theatre, where we learned how art and entertainment played a very crucial role in the development of this town. The Royal Crescent. This stunning 18th century building is an iconic Georgian landmark. It is known for its symmetrical proportions and grand design. We got there during sunset and it really made our day. The view of sun reflecting on the building while the bird flocks flying above it is a sight to see. After walking the whole city, we went to the train station to head back to London. But the train was delayed for 2 hours. This was a blessing in disguise because we got to explore the whole town again in night. Bath in nighttime is even more beautiful than during the daytime. We explored most of the town. We saw the stunning church, watched the end of a rugby game, and finally, we went back to the Abbey to see its haunting beauty at night without the crowd around it. Overall, Bath is an amazing place for a weekend getaway where you can relax, enjoy, and immerse yourself in history. We really enjoyed our time here, and we hope that you all enjoyed this video. See you all soon in our next video. Adios.